going on, everybody? Rice here, back again with another video. Today I wanted to do a full sit down on my full airsoft loadout for the 2026 season. Now I do understand it is towards the middle of August getting into September, so I'm a little late getting to this video. However, I just finished building out pretty much my whole loadout and getting everything set up, so I'm at that point now where I'm fully comfortable with how everything works, and I wanted to get a video out to show you guys what I'm going to be using for pretty much the rest of the year and Milsims going forward. So let's go ahead and without further ado, we'll start at the top, work our way down. And I know what you guys are here for is pretty much the guns, so we're going to do that last just to keep you guys retained, all right? Starting first, we have my high cut replica. This is a FMA ceramic. It's made out of like fiberglass and stuff. It's sand treated is what they call it. This is the tan version. I've been using this for around, I want to say ever since January I got this. So I've been using it for 6 or 7 months now, January, February, around there. And this helmet is very good. It is a high quality helmet. It has some serious weight to it, and it feels pretty much like a real high cut. I don't like using plastic helmets. The only reason for that is because they don't feel to be as sturdy and not a lot of support for what I'm running on top of the helmet. So moving from front to back, we have my fake little FMA PPS 31s. These are purely just for looks, for aesthetics, for taking photos. I'm sure you guys have seen on my Instagram all the photos that I've taken with these. They look pretty nice. They are visually appealing, and they're a lot better than, you know, just having nothing on there or, you know, GoPro, whatever. It adds a lot more to the immersion factor. Holding on to these PVS 31 mocks are a Wilcox retention mount. This is on the front shroud of the FMA high cut. This is a full metal shroud. This isn't plastic. I wanted to get something a little more sturdy so it's not bouncing around when I attach my GoPro to it or when I attach anything else onto it. Maybe I am running real nods with the retention bands. I don't want to put it on some fake piece of plastic, right? So I put it on a metal Wilcox mount to make sure it's more sturdy. And then holding on to this mount actually is the PVS 31 retention strap by Faro Concepts. You can see it wired to the rear. All the bands are pretty much put away and organized as I can make them. With this, I put the fake little PVS 31 battery pack in the rear. There is no counterweight. I'll have to attach counterweight at the bottom for when I do attach real PVS 31s on there. But for right now, it's just the basic 31 little retention system. And then on it is just a basic little morale patch. I'm pretty sure this is a GBRS patch. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. I got it off Amazon, but it's a little patch just for looks. On top of it, I have a fake little Hellstar IR strobe. Now, when I flip to the side, it's obviously flashing in IR. You guys can't see that because it's not an IR camera. And then you just set it off, and then there should be another mode. I think the battery's dead. I'll have to change it out, get a new CR123A, but it does have a visible option as well. And then on top as well, I do have the breacher tape. It's just Gorilla Tape, but it's purely just for the look of breacher tape. But yeah, nothing too crazy on this helmet. Let's see. On the other side, I do have an American flag patch. This is not IR. It's just for morale. With the fake little Peltor Contact 4s. Now, these Contact 4s are fake. However, I have gotten the opportunity to use them at real ranges while I was active duty. These work really, really well. I haven't had any ear degradation or any problems with my hearing. I've used these at every single range, both indoor and outdoor. With these ranges, we shoot the M17, we shoot the M4, as well as the 240 Bravo. So with these on, I haven't had any issues with my hearing. They are very high quality. You can get them on Amazon for about $130. So you're paying like not even like a third of the price for real Peltors for the same quality. In terms of the microphone, it's not as great as real Peltors, but it gets the job done. I use it with my PRC 152 that we will get into the rest of this video. People that I play with say they haven't had any issues understanding with what I'm saying. So we'll get into the actual radio later on, but for the price, these Peltors work really well. Second and last thing on my helmet is the little Night Evolution helmet light. This is purely for illuminating rooms. If I'm in a dark room, if I'm looking at maps or anything like that during a Milsim, I can hit this once and illuminate with a red light, and I can easily just illuminate up on the roof and the light will shine back on down. And then secondarily to that, it also has a white light mode for out in front of me if I'm looking down at, my phone or whatever, or any notepads that I'm pulling out of my vest, or even my KDU. I can take a look at that as well with a light. Last thing is my helmet cam. So I use two different helmet cams. This one is the Mohawk Gen 1. This isn't the Gen 2, so I don't have any of the IR or at night recording capability. However, for basic day gameplay and day games, I can use this and it works really great. It's super simple, and you can flip to one side just to turn it on, have it on standby, or you can flip it the other way to instantly record from the off position. So it's great that it has the quick record feature. It does take mini SD cards, and I have a 128 gig in there as of right now. It's really great for storage, and honestly it just works really well. Another thing about this is if you're mounting it on a helmet like mine, you're able to actually rotate the lens to get the actual angle that you're at, so it will record flat even if it is mounted on an angle. Attached to the Peltors, I did just realize this, they are dual leads, so I run two radios just in case I need to. For a command radio and then a squad radio, I have dual leads so I can plug in each side and be able to communicate on both radios. They do route to the same microphone, so I can't do two at once obviously, but I do have the two radios just in case. Anyways, with the dual leads, I have an adapter. This more goes into my PRC 152, and I will explain it when we get into that, but this is just an adapter for civilian to military NATO connections. Let's move on from the helmet, and we will work down into my plate carrier. So, moving into my plate carrier, we have a Faro Concepts FCPC V5 replica. I got this on Amazon for 120 bucks. The reason for that is because to build out a full FCPC V5, it's around $800 something for all the different attachments on it, on the front, back, and the sides. I didn't want to do that because I already have a real FCPC in Ranger Green, so I decided to go for the cheap option, something that was pretty much the same, and it was sturdy for what it was. Now this is a pretty simple plate carrier. It has all the same features as an FCPC V5 would, just like with the Cobra buckle at the top. You can go ahead and release this and it'll go ahead and release. And I put some fake assault cummerbunds on the side as well in multicam. Reason for that, again, I don't feel like spending the full price on a pretty basic airsoft vest that I'm only going to be using for, pickup games. Nothing too crazy, nothing real still that I actually have to rely on it carrying real plates. In terms of how long I've been using this, I've been using this for about 6 months now, and it's held up really well. There is quite literally zero tearing or wear on this vest, and I've used it almost every weekend that I've had it. This thing is really, really nice, honestly, and I would suggest it for anyone looking for a cheap option for a plate carrier. I haven't had any issues with it. But moving down to the main plate carrier, we have a cheap little Amazon placard for 3 of my magazines. These are Guns Modify gas blowback rifle magazines. These go for about $80 a piece on eBay. They are currently sold out last time I checked, but if you guys are looking to get into these mags or the GBR game, definitely check these out. I really like them. They are very high quality. They are 35 round capacity, and they are very easy to load and unload. If you press this button at the bottom, push the back plate off and push the mag out, you can actually load it from the feed. Make sure the bottom piece is locked, push it back in, hit the button, the spring will lock out, and then that's your fully loaded magazine. Just through it. You don't need any adapters, anything like that. It's really good just for hand loading a magazine, and you can do it fairly quickly. When I'm done with my games and I have to reload my mags, I can reload all 7 of them within 1 to 2 minutes. So you still have that time to, rest, drink water when you're out at staging. You can load these up fairly quickly and you don't have any issues. Moving up, you have 2 push-to-talks. One of them is for my Baofeng UV5R, and the other one is for a PRC 152. Now, these push-to-talks are very cheap. I got them off Amazon for like $10 a piece, but they work really well. I haven't had any issues. They are 2 separate ones. This one actually came with my HearCom headset, my Peltor replicas. It is more of a clicky. Not sure if you guys can hear that. And then this one, it's a little bit softer. It's not great, but I don't use my Baofeng as much as I use my PRC. So we can completely ignore the fact that one of them's shittier than the other, but it works for what I do, and I haven't had any issues. Moving to the left side of the vest, we have my Baofeng UV5R wired to my whip antenna through my left side shoulder strap. This is really good because it's just retaining my radio antenna. I don't have any issues with it moving around or being annoying while I'm slung up with my rifle, and it just works really well. Holding my Baofeng UV5R is a little underarm wing radio pouch. This is another fake one, a little cheap thing I got off Amazon. It works really well. It's made for a bigger radio. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but it's bouncing around a little bit, but that's only when I take it off. And when I have it on, it just fits tight to my body, and I don't have any issues with it being too big. It sits really nicely, and it works for me. In front of that, I have these fake little side armor paddings. These came with the vest, which is actually really cool. I didn't have to buy them separate like I did my my real Feral Concepts FCB PCV5. These were just attached on it. I haven't taken them off because it looks good, and it's nice little extra padding for in case you get hit on the sides. Like I said, I do have the Assault cummerbunds. These are the fake ones from Amazon that came with the vest. Really sturdy, has the carbon fiber inserts just like the real ones, and they work well. They're sturdy and they work, so I haven't had any reason to change them out. And then moving to the other side, we have a Spirit Systems spud pouch. This pouch is really just for my one gas blowback mag that I have extra just to hold it, and then I take it out and put it in my rifle. In terms of the back, we have a Feral Concepts banger back panel. This is also fake. Again, everything on this vest in terms of like the Feral gear is fake. I didn't want to get a real replacement for my actual Feral Concepts FCPCV5. I really just don't play Airsoft enough or do any of the real steel type stuff to actually have to rely on real quality gear. So inside of the Feral Concepts banger back panel replica, I have 3 tagging grenades. These fit really well. The only thing about these is they're not great. These that I got from the shop were, I think this is a dud batch. They don't work really that well. 3 of them that I used at the field didn't go off. So I'm probably going to end up using different ones, but these do work really well. I'm probably going to end up going with the IWA 7 bangs instead because I do have a certification to purchase off that website. But these are great just for the basic Airsoft player if you don't want to go through the process of taking the IWA certification course, doing all that process to actually be eligible to buy those real flashbangs. Then you can use these instead, and they work really well. Underneath, attached to the back panel, is a little pouch that you can just really throw anything in there. I threw the other 3 down there, or you can put batteries, extra mags. Probably for the Milsim I'm going in September, I'll throw my extra gas blowback mags in there, so myself or my buddy Anthony will be able to, switch out mags, do what we need to do just in case, because we are running the same rifle, which I'll get into later. Now, what a lot of people have been asking about is my new radio. So this is a TCA PRC 152. This radio was not cheap. I will say that right now. This thing was $585 with the KDU attached with it. I will go over that after this, but this radio is not a cheap radio. It can connect to the same frequencies that Baofangs use, so if you have any friends that aren't willing to spend the $500 on one of these radios, you can still talk to them. You don't have to sacrifice any communications with them because you are using a different radio. These do connect to the same radio channels that you would on a Baofeng. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty heavy radio. It's definitely not a cheap one. It has a 6-pin connector. Keep in mind, if you do use one of these and you have a fake headset like I do, you do need an adapter, just like I was talking about. It's one of these 6-pin converters for military to civilian wiring. If you do use real Peltor contacts, though, you don't need one of these. So just keep in mind, when you are getting one of these radios and you are trying to work it with your headset, you are going to need one of these in case you do use fake Peltors. Now let's go ahead and put this away, and I will get into my KDU that goes into this. Now, with the PRC 152, it came with a KDU. These are great because, as you guys can see, I have my radio in the back of my plate carrier. So you're probably asking, how are you going to get to it in the field? How are you going to change radios, change your volume, anything like that while you're actually playing? Isn't that a very inconvenient radio placement? Now, I thought about that too. When I was buying this, I was like, all right, where am I going to want to put my radio? How is it going to be positioned on my gear? And so when I did that, I was looking at these. So this is a KDU. This actually is something that came with my PRC when I bought it. It's a little radio panel that you can change the volume, you can change frequencies, you can navigate through menus just like you would with any other radio. Now, this thing is great because, like I just said, I don't have to take my radio off. I don't have to take my plate carrier off to maneuver through my radio channels. I can literally just rip this off the Velcro, be like, okay, I want to change this frequency, let me move here, let me change this setting, let me hit these, and it's just so simple. So if you are looking into getting a PRC 152 and you don't want to have to deal with the handheld module, just get one of these. and it'll do the job just great. If you are looking to get one of these, go to TCA Europe. They'll hook you up. They do ship to the United States. And then last thing on my plate carrier that I was talking about was my Feral Concepts Roll 1. This is another fake one again, but it's really cool. It just has this little bungee retention. Open this up and you can pull your IFAK out. It's all my basic medical gear. I am TCCC and basic first aid certified, so I have my pressure seals, I have my chest bandages, whatever, hemostatic dressing, all that kind of stuff, just in case. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, it's airsoft, you're not going to need a tourniquet. You never know. There's a lot of stuff happening on airsoft fields. There's usually construction. They're building new parts of the field, so someone gets impaled by a piece of rebar. It's always good to have something just in case. Chances are it's not going to happen, but it's always good to have it. That is my plate carrier. Nothing too crazy on it. It works really well. It does have some good weight to it, and I enjoy it. So we're going to move on now into my belt setup. So this is the belt setup that I'm using for this year. This is a replica Feral Concepts Bison belt. This is a carbon fiber inserted belt. It works really well. It has an inner belt system and an outer. So this is the outer part. The inner belt is literally just Velcro. It goes in through your belt loops, and you stick it on with the inside of this belt. We're working from left to right. We have dual 45-degree angled mag pouches for my Staccato XC. These magazines are very big and they are thick because they're double stacked 2011 magazines, so I kind of have to push them through just for them to get locked in. If I don't, you can see it kind of just it's not that good of a grip, and I'm worried about them falling out. So you have to push them through a little bit more than usual just so they actually get locked into the mag pouches, but they work well for me, and they do the job just fine, so I haven't had any issues with them. They are Velcroed in on the inside, so you don't have to actually mod them on. You can literally just Velcro them, and they'll stick, and they don't move around, which is great. Moving on is my STAC 556 pouch. This is a Kydex insert, just like the other two. This one also works really well for my Guns Modified magazines. Don't have to worry about it falling out, and sticks in really nice. It also has a lot more of the magazine exposed than it does on the inside. That way I can get a good handle on my magazines to actually pull them out and get them back in the mag pouch. On the rear, we have a dump pouch. This is just a basic multicam dump pouch by Blue Force Gear. It's great. Throw my spare mags in there or a water bottle, whatever I'm doing, and I just keep a bunch of miscellaneous shit in there. And it also just folds up and rolls back into itself, so it's not taking up a bunch of space. Moving on to the other side, we have my Staccato XC. I will go over this afterwards. We're not going to get into that right now. But I have a Safariland 6354 RDO holster. I did take the retention hood off, and I am just using the locking system on the inside. I didn't want to have a hood because it's not law enforcement. I'm just playing airsoft, right? So I don't need anything too crazy for retention. I just have the basic holster with the ALS system inside. Mounted with it is a mid-ride mount and little pad. I got this off Amazon. Pretty nice. It's padded against your legs, so you don't have that hard plastic hitting against it. It adds a little bit more comfortability with the mid-ride strap. Very high quality. I am very impressed with how nice this thing is. I didn't expect Safariland to make something. I mean, I did, but in terms of a padding thing, I didn't expect it to be that nice. But honestly, works really well, and I haven't looked back. Moving forward to the last thing we have on my belt is literally just the same thing as the other one, except it's mounted horizontally. This is great for retention and quick reloads. I personally use this for my first mag that I reload every single time that I have to during a game. It's great. It's right by my belt line. I can just grab it, throw it in, and throw it back in. The retention is really nice. It's tight, but it's not too tight to the point where I'm going to struggle to have to retain the mag. I honestly suggest to everyone to pick one of these up because it works really nice. A lot of people have said, oh, well, it didn't work for me. It was very uncomfortable. You just have to practice with it. I, too, had issues with it when I first got it. I wasn't sure if I was going to end up running it, and I actually didn't for the longest time. And then I actually sat down and I did some reps with it, and I got used to it, and now I don't regret it. I don't look back. I use this every single time I play. This is my primary magazine that I always go for every single game. But yeah, that is my belt setup. Now let's get into the last things, which is actually the interesting part of this video. So starting with the sidearm first, this is the Staccato XC by 6mm Pro Shop and Army Armament. This thing is absolutely beautiful. I love this gun. I have always been a staccato fan ever since I switched out from Glocks. I used to love Glocks. I was obsessed with those things, you know, growing up watching like End of Watch, Training Day, you know, even fucking The Rookie, as shit as that show is. I was always a Glock fan. Then I went to Master Arms A School in San Antonio, Texas, and I got to shoot one of these real steel at a range, and I just fell in love. I got to shoot the XC and the Staccato P, and I just didn't look back. So I've been running this for, let's say, the past week. I haven't gotten any footage with it, unfortunately, but I've been doing a lot of dry fire with it and just some target practice. I'll attach some footage while I'm talking about this thing, but it is great. It's 30 rounds in a magazine, and I got 3 extra magazines with it to go with it just in case. This thing is smooth. It feels good in the hands. I mean, there's not more I can say about it. You know, everything is just beautiful about this gun. It looks great and it feels great. On top of it, I have a fake little RMR. I did have to put the secondary mounting plate on it, so I'm actually able to put a red dot on it. It does come with it, which is great. Army Armament and 6mm Pro Shop really hooked up the players with the secondary mounting plate for any optic that you want. I don't know if it has the acro mounting option. I don't have an acro, so I don't know how the mounting plate looks, but I am looking into getting one, so in the near future I will update you guys if I'm able to put an acro on it or not. On the bottom we have a Surefire X300. This is a real Surefire X300. I have had this for a couple of years now, and man, this thing is beat to shit, but it still works. I don't have any batteries in it right now because I try to save all my battery life when I'm not playing, but it is a high quality flashlight and it mounts great to the Staccato. Again, there's not much negative things I can say about this gun. It has the real licensing on it, 9x19 at the top on the barrel. I mean, you can air rack this thing and it runs like a fucking beast. You know, it's great. It does have clockwise threads, so if you are getting a trace or anything like that, just be mindful for the integrated comp. But yeah, this thing, beautiful gun. Can't say anything negative about it, really. Now, this is my main squeeze for Airsoft. Another one of those, I can't say anything negative about it. The Tokyo Marui Mark 18 gas blowback rifle. This thing is beautiful, okay? Like I said, guns modify magazines. Now, inside of it, I haven't done anything too crazy in terms of modifications. However, on the outside, you can see I've put a lot of accessories on it. So, starting from tip to butt, we have a... Oh, let me get my stock. There we go. We have a B&T Rotex V Compact 5.56 suppressor. This is obviously a mock suppressor because it is Airsoft. But I've been using this thing for a while and it works really well. It doesn't do anything in terms of amplifying. There's no tracers in it. There's no suppression, whatever. It does have some foam inside of it for like whatever, I don't know. But it works really well and I haven't had any issues. Like I said, I would use this thing over really any other suppressor. It looks nice, and again, no complaints. Moving back, we have a Night Evolution Surefire Scout replica flashlight. Honestly, pretty bright. It's a pretty good flashlight. I haven't had any issues. It's attached to a Wadson pressure switch. It's a single pressure switch, and it's just mounted to the top of my rail. In front of that, we have a little PEC 15. I'm not 100% sure on the brand. I've had this for a couple years now, and it still works really well. It's obviously an FDE, but I don't have it plugged into anything. The reason for that is the way I'm holding my rifle. I don't have to, you know, move my thumb around a lot just to push it up and grab the laser versus just hitting the light. So it's pretty easy, and I just keep it unplugged simply due to the fact that I don't need to overcrowd my rail with another pressure switch when I don't even use it. It does hold zero pretty well. I have adjusted this thing a couple times to actually be, you know, relative to where my BBs are going, and it works. It doesn't move. Even with this as a gas blowback, it doesn't make any adjustments. So if I find out the brand after filming this video, I will put it in the description. I'll try to put as many links in the description as I can, but yeah, I don't know the brand right now, but it is a really high quality laser. Moving to the middle of the rifle, we have a Elcan Spectre. Now this one, I cannot give you guys any information on the brand because I don't know. I picked it up at my Airsoft store at EBG Airsoft. Check them out. It's my home field. I've been going to them for years. But they had this in the store for 120 bucks. I don't know the brand of it. I don't know where it came from. It was just in their shop and they sold it to me. In terms of quality, this is a fucking high quality Spectre. I have a couple buddies that are in the Army. They checked it out. They're like, yeah, man, this is pretty legit. It has adjusting for zeros, so you can move it up and down, left to right, and then it has the 1 to 4x magnification adjustment. You just take the switch, flip it down, and it will zoom in and out as you see fit. A lot of people aren't fans of the Spectres because of how big it is, but I love them. This thing has worked great, and I've been using it for like 8 months now. So I've had this thing for a while, and it's amazing. Moving down, we have the PTS pistol grip. I wanted to get one of these on there because, like I said in my other video on TikTok, not sure if you guys have seen it, but I don't like the finger grooves that the basic Mark 18 comes with. I wanted to just get a smooth grip with a little bit of stippling on it, and it works really well. It's great for grip. And yeah, I mean, no complaints about it. This Mark 18, obviously, since it is a airsoft gun, it does have the 0 degree, 90 degree, and 180 degree for the controls. It is not ambidextrous, unfortunately. I am probably going to put in some stuff to make it ambidextrous because I do shoot with both hands. But for right now, it works totally fine. Very good solid switches. There's no play in them. They sit in one spot, and you need a good amount of force to move them around. Now, finally, moving to the rear, we have the Magpul CTR stock. I've been using CTRs for a good year and a half of my time playing Airsoft. I always use CTRs. They are really high quality stocks. I like how they're lightweight, they're thin. You don't need a bunch of shit to, put them on or deal with them. It's very simple. I like them a lot, and I will always be using the CTR. All right, now, and in terms of the final part of this rifle, I have a Faro Concept Slingster. These slings are absolutely amazing. I have been using this for over a year now. This is by far the longest thing that I've been using that stayed fluent throughout my multiple kit changes. I have always stayed with this sling simply because of how simple it is and how comfortable it is. There is a single tab that you're able to pull left and right to make it more loose or tight. And I have had absolutely zero issues with this thing. I mean, it's super easy to mount. I have it slung in on my CTR and then a little piece on the rail of my rifle on the left side, and it just works. In terms of the actual sling on the padded section, it has maybe half of it that's padded and then the front part isn't, but that's totally fine. I don't want a 100% padded sling because obviously you need to be able to tighten it and loosen it. I don't just want a fluid point sling that's literally only one length. I don't use a 1-point sling simply due to the fact that with how heavy my rifle is, being that it is a gas blowback, I don't want it to be swinging around on my body. If I do need to stow this rifle, I'll just pull it in tight to me and push it off to the side and then transition to my sidearm, whatever I need to do. But I prefer a 2-point much over a 1-point sling. Alright guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions about anything that I went over in this video, make sure you put it down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Once again, I will put all of the links to the gear that I'm able to get in the description for any of your general inquiries. And then if there's something that I don't know where to get it, I'll try to update it as the time goes on as I find it. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the field.